Sakurako-san, man, dude, the feels, bruh. Ichan, man, and fucking EMIT. Oh, yo, like, no lie, I caught the feels in the episode. At first, it started off as some kind of stereotypical cliche Mygo mystery, you know, lost child, gotta find out where the fuck her parents are, what's going on. It jumped from, you know, potential home abuse, which turned out to be true, to this whole sordid scenario, dude. Fucking Ichan and her EMIT, man. Damn. They're alone. At least they have each other going forward, dude. And at least Sakurako was able to save this baby. And it fucking bae Sakurako, dude. Straight up prime best girl candidate for me personally this season. Prime wife. Only Yachi and a handful of others and Kuan are going up against her right now. But, oh my god, in this episode, we get to peer into her kind of mentality and see that inside that kind of rough and crass exterior is this amazing, just straight tsundere status, no lie, but is this incredibly kind and caring individual, dude, despite her fetish for the dark and macabre and death and bones and everything of that nature. But this episode, dude, Sakurako-san episode 2, that ED. Oh my goodness, the opening is amazing. The opening is amazing, but I was surprised by the ED. I love it too. But the opening is really where it's at. The Gosick and Kamisama no Memo vibes persist, like heavily, especially since that sequence with the bone, you know, of various animals, you know, swarming around her before she begins her investigation is maintained. I'm sure we're gonna see that going forward as long as we have episodic episodes, which I'll talk about in a minute. It really reminds me of, like, VICTORIQUE and the wellspring of knowledge and everything like that, and things like that. And people are bringing up Pioka as well as a comparison for the series, and I definitely would agree with that, but the kind of dark and macabre air, and I'm not spoiling anything for any of these series, but the dark and macabre air in Sakurako-san makes it more akin to Gosick and Kamisama. And I was like, yo, this episode needs to be real. And from the onset, finding this little girl and the way the mystery unfolds with Shoutarou and how he's, you know, investigating it, going to Sakurako, and you see her reaction to it, I was just like, oh my god, I fucking love her. It's fucking, oh my god, the very fact that it's Ito Shizuka, like, the voice acting is so on point. It's incredible. This is why I love this girl so much. But at the same time, we have this incredibly sad story with how her mother, you know, risked her life to save both of her daughters in the end and whatnot from their fiendish father, which is not explicitly stated in the episode, but it's highly inferred that that's their father and you know, and everything like that. He was the one that abused Ai and caused her bone to heal incorrectly. I forgot exactly the term that Sakurako used, but it was him. And he's a fiendish drug. I knew before, you know, anything was said. Once we got to the halfway point and he showed up and stabbed the officer, which dude went in. He was ultimately useless, but I have to give him props for trying to go into the very end, but I forget his name, so we'll get there, but regardless, once he showed up, everything just completely came into place for me, and seeing when Sakurako and Shoutarou were kind of looking at the scene and replaying, you know, the mother's final moments, and I kind of coming to terms with what happened, dude, I was just like, oh my god, this shit is real right now. This shit is fucking real. The episode, the progression, it took such a heavy and dark tone, dude, that I was like, yo, and the man is straight, you know, addict, straight fiend mode. And here's the thing that I'm wondering: was this whole thing, like, yes, he broke into this state of psychosis, but we don't know the drug that he was taking, and it's not even that it's not specified in terms of, oh, it's rare, drugs are rarely specified in anime, which that is truly the case, but I'm wondering now, and for people who have seen Kamisama Memo or anything of that nature, you'll know where I'm going with this. I'm wondering now if this is a specific drug, you know, geared towards the series, because the man was raving about butterflies, and at the end when he was getting arrested, he's like, I have to return the butterflies to him. And I'm wondering if it's along the lines of Angel Fix or something like that, where they're being manipulated in some way by somebody who's manufacturing this drug, and we could potentially see more individuals in the series, you know, falling into depravity because of this specific, you know, narcotic. But that may be a stretch, and it could be isolated to this one episodic case, and I feel as though we're going to have a couple more episodic cases going forward before we get into the depth of what I see happening with this series, the utter darkness and despair that potentially awaits us, especially with the narration of Shoutarou at the beginning, what the OP and the symbolism sets up. And that's another thing with the butterflies, the butterflies and the OP, Sakurako mentioning the butterfly bone being the heart of you know, the human base, the base of the, you know, the skeletal structure and everything like that. But ultimately, I'm wondering now, with this clear mystery that's being set up with, you know, the boy that Sakurako lost in the past, and you see her stretching out to him in the OP and the flashback and everything like that, and it looks strikingly like Shoutarou, but as he points out himself, in that moment where it's clear she no longer couldn't bear, and you see the scars of her past, she couldn't bear to lose, you know, the person close to her again, she screams out Shoutarou, and he's like, is it a slip? Who is this Shoutarou person? And the man looks eerily similar to him. So I'm wondering what it's really too early for me to start theory crafting as to that. I really have to sit down and think about it. But I'm just like, yeah, it's definitely, as far as I'm concerned and as far as I feel about it right now, I'm just like, it's definitely him. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in the past, why he doesn't remember, how, you know, the scars of Sakurako's past, and, you know, ultimately crafting the person that we see in front of us. But that's something that's going to slow burn, kind of unfold as we go through the episodic nature of things and get to the crux of the story. So, Sakurako, man, still beast, still amazing as fuck, still tied with you know, the Perfect Insider, straight up second favorite series this season, just out of the newly started projects. It's just too real, dude. It's too fucking real. Troyca's going in. The animation is sexy as fuck. The voice acting is top tier. The writing is beautiful. That's the thing that's getting the writing. Like when he walks in, and sometimes it's subpar. Like when he walks in, it's like this was the smell of death. Like I knew exactly what was coming, but at the same time, the weight of it, seeing, you know, the emotions and the feels in this episode. And just having my best girl Sakurako, dude, she's good. She's fucking good. I don't care what anybody says. The bone fetish princess is straight up probably gonna be my at least my waifu for the season. If she doesn't end up being best girl objectively, she'll probably still be my personal waifu, because and that was Smith last season, because Sakurako is just too fucking sexy, dude. She's too real. She gives me those VICTORIQUE, you know, Alice vibes. I love her. I absolutely love her. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking as far as this whole, you know, Shoutarou and Sakurako past mystery is concerned, everything like that. How did you feel about this particular episode and that fiendish father? Do you think there could be more to it, or is he just, you know, was it just a normal psychotic break off of, you know, him, you know, falling prey to some drug randomly, rather than it being something orchestrated and somebody, you know, distributing this particular narcotic, some, you know, angel fix type deal. But regardless, let me know your thoughts on this episode. It was fucking awesome, and I'm out. Peace.